Hello, will you join me today as I look at these Gemini CDJ-20 CD players. Now there's a bit of story behind this video and how I got to this point, but I'll tell you that in a minute. Essentially we have this one which doesn't read CDs, it just comes up and says no disc, and this one works fine. This one was actually bought as a fully working unit because it was really cheap in order to troubleshoot this one, because I spent so long on this one trying to get it working that I thought it's got to be something custom that's gone. So let me give you a demonstration. We'll plug both of them in. Now this one does have a CD in it. So you can see it says read, hopefully you can see that. And no disc. So if I put this into here and power it on, you'll see straight, you may be able to see that the CD is now spinning and it's found the track list and it starts playing. Okay, right, so what we'll do is we shall get inside this one and I'll show you what I've done. So essentially the story is very early on, before I even started the channel, I actually started buying up a load of items for repair. So I had some things in the queue that I would be able to repair and then release a bunch of videos for. This was one of them, but I spent a long time trying to get it fixed, and I eventually just gave up and put it on the back burner. I got one of these, spent a little bit of time on it, but just still didn't get any further. But the thing is, when I recorded me looking at this, I wasn't using any of the equipment that I'm using today, none of the cameras or the lights or any of that. I'll maybe put some of the footage up here somewhere so you can see while I'm doing this, and you'll see just how bad it was. But it really was shocking and totally unusable. So this is why I'm effectively starting from the start. Now there's a couple of cables in here. Just being very careful obviously because it's been switched on. And I'll tell you what it is that I did. So one of the things I first found was one of the transistors at the back here. They may be MOSFETs actually, I'm not sure. One of these was shorted to ground, I believe it was this one. I spent quite some time going over the board. Power supply is fairly simple design. It's got a bridge rectifier here to convert the AC to DC. And then, you know, you've got a crystal, you've got the controller for the CD drive, and you've got a number of other discrete components here. Now I checked a load of the capacitors because some of them were a bit out of spec. There was one, I think it was this one, that was all domed, so I replaced that one. But other than that, I didn't really replace anything on the top board. Bear in mind this was probably 2 years ago that I was looking at this. So I actually got to the point where I said, right, I can't fix it, I don't know what the issue is. And I'll show you the other side of the board as well. Now, because I spent more hours than I care to admit to going over this, I actually was convinced that it's something on this side that's faulty. One of the other things I did was replace this. I managed to get a brand new one and put this in, and that didn't make any difference either. Now, if you look at the ICs here, we've got what looks like the main CPU. We've got what's probably a flash module. We've got some RAM there, maybe a memory decoder or controller, and then some support chips here as well. I do have to tidy up the board a little bit, the solder joints on here and stuff, but I can do that later. So the idea is to take off one IC, put it on from the other board, test, do the next one, test, etc., etc. And then hopefully we'll get to one point where we change one of them and it starts working, and then we'll know that that one is the issue. What I think I'll do is I'll make a list of all of these. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll make a list of these 9 and we shall see if you can find out what they are, and then get a logical order in which to remove them. Right, I need to do a little bit of research and then I'll be back. This one controls the servo. So my hunch is that this one is actually the one that's probably gone. So that's going to be our first one. I actually thought it would be the last one, but no. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get one of these. Put this one aside, we'll get the other board out, we'll remove that chip and we'll put it on here. Right, that's the two chips taken off, so we've got to put the good one onto here. I'm just going to give this a little bit of a clean up. There we go. Right, that's it on. I've checked all the legs and everything. Frustratingly, the camera stopped recording, and it's not something I check all the time, so you didn't get to see me put this on, unfortunately. So that's it on. It's all looking good now. If this works, then we know for absolute certain that it was that chip. If we can get another one of those chips, we'll put it on. If we can't, then it just becomes a spares board. There is a CD in there. Right, keep fingers crossed. Nope. No disc. What I want to do is just have another look at that board and just make sure that that chip is on properly. Here's the chip. You see if you can see what I see. And these two legs at the end are not connected, and that one there is not connected. Well, I hear it trying to move the CD. That's different. It wasn't doing that before. Oh, well, I haven't got a CD in it. It's working. It's not reading the track, but it is spinning the CD. Right, that's okay. As you can see, it's spinning the CD. I think that the laser needs calibrated. Oh my word. This is the chip that's faulty then. I need to see if I can get another one of those. Okay, let's do one last thing. Let's put the top of the other one into here. If we put this one on, because we know this is working, so what we hope now is that we put the CD in and this one spins and reads the table of contents. Okay, that's not quite what I was expecting. Okay, that kind of isolates it to the still on that board. There's still an issue on that board. So we know for sure that this is faulty. I mean, there's no guarantee that chip still isn't quite right. I'm going to have a quick scan of it. I found a shorted pin now, so let's fix that. There we are. So I'll look and see if there's any others. Maybe that short was the reason for that high speed spinning. Okay, let's plug it in and power it up. There we go. And it's read it. Phew, we found the issue. It's just this chip. So I need to go and see if it's possible to get another one of those. And I think I know what the answer is going to be, but if I can find one of those, then I can make up the other one and have both of them working. Now that we've actually finally, after 2 years, found what the issue is with this, then we can progress to the next stage. Okay, it's been a couple of weeks and I've managed to get delivery of one of these ICs. So what we're going to do is put this one straight onto this board and hopefully, fingers crossed, that's going to be enough to get it working. I'll get everything set up and let's get this fixed. So what I think I'll do is tin this, switch on the extractor. Right, I've got a CD here. Keep your fingers crossed. Here goes. And read it, it does. Excellent. Oh, I can't believe it. Right, let's put this one together. We'll get them both set up and then we'll finish up the video. Right, and here we go, all ready to test. So just put a CD into each one of them. Power. And yeah, this one's picked it up. Now, because these are commercial CDs and for copyright reasons, I can't play the audio from these, but I think you can see from here they are playing. So it's been a long time getting to this point, but I'm really glad that in the end it was worth persevering for these. These do need a little bit of tweaking. You know, there's a little bit of cosmetic work to do, is maybe just tidy them up. Right, we shall leave it there for today. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one. And hopefully it won't take as long to fix.